Come on in. So before we get started, anybody have any questions for me? Because we're going to be recording. Okay. All right. Welcome to the August block. Um, so we're going to do a couple of things here. And the sample behind me, Summer did on Saturday, and she turned it around a little bit. So it looks a little different than what we're going to do. So instead of being like, okay, now you get it, right? Keep you guys on your toes. Okay. So it's okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our B square and put a white in the corner. I've already marked a diagonal line. I'm going to put it really nice and perfectly into this corner, and I'm going to sew right on that diagonal line. Easy peasy. I need a pin. All right, so I'm going to sew right on that line. Okay, so I've sewn on the line, and I'm going to press it so it looks like this. Okay, so here's what it looks like ironed over. And there are 3 layers of fabric, so I'm going to cut off these 2 back layers because it's just too bulky. You can cut it to around 1/4 inch. You can measure it to 1/4 inch, or you can kind of just wing it. I'm going to wing it. What? Oh, I will try to be careful. Okay, so I have this one, and I'm going to take another square and put it in a adjacent corner. Opposite, so adjacent. So I'm going to sew right on that line. Okay, let me sew it on the line. Okay, so I've sewn on the line. I'm going to press it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And again, I'm going to trim off these back 2 pieces because it's just so bulky. And this is what I have. You're going to make 4 of these. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the A and C corner units. So I have a plain square. I have a gray square. Same thing, I'm going to put this in a corner, sew right on that line. Okay, so this is pinned. I'm going to sew it on the line. I've sewn on it. Iron it. Okay, so I've pressed it and I'm going to, again, trim away all that extra bulk to around 1/4 inch. And if you have one of those small rulers that we sell, that's really nice. I just don't happen to have one right here. But you're going to make 4 of these. Okay, done. And now we're going to work on the heart in the center. Find all my pieces. Have to. Okay. So half square triangles. I have my 2 pieces right sides together. I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on both sides of this marked line. Just a basic half square triangle. And you at home are going to make two of these half square triangles. I've sewn on both sides. I'm going to cut down the middle. And it's just a regular half square triangle at this point. I'm going to press it towards the darker fabric, which happens to be the gray. So I wanted to do something different, and we're going to make a little heart for the center. That's right. That's right. So I'm just going to trim off all those ends that I don't like. And you'll probably want to use scissors. Okay, half square triangles. So now you have even smaller little squares with a marked line. And let me get this all lined up. So I have my half square triangle like this. I'm going to put this white on top of it. I hope the graphic is good enough. So I line up this square in the corner. So in the graphic, you should be able to see the gray of the half square triangle kind of poking out. Okay. So we're going to do like we did before. Let me get my needle back in the center. Okay. So we're just going to do one of these. I'm going to sew right on that marked line, right on it. And could I have done this a different way? Probably, but this is much easier. Okay, so I'm sewing right on that marked line. If I can find the petal. Take my pin out. So I've sewn on the line. I am going to press it this way. Okay, so again, I'm going to cut away all this extra bulk in the back. This is what it's going to look like, but I want to get rid of all that bulk. So there's a lot going on back here. So about 1/4 inch. All right. So on your picture, you have another half square, triangle, and I'm trying to get it the same direction as the picture. So it's going to be this way. So it's kind of the opposite way. Half square triangle is going this way. This line is going that way. Okay. So once I get that all set up, then I am going to sew right on that marked line. Okay, so I've sewn on the line. I'm going to iron it back like this. Hopefully I did that right. Yeah, I think so. So you're kind of making a right side and a left side. Let me trim that away because it's a lot of extra fabric. All right. Can you guys see that? Okay. I know it's gray on gray. But you see how we're making a heart? Okay. So I'm going to sew these two together. I'm going to sew those two together. I'm not threaded. Hold on. I know that never happens to you guys. You know it's not going to do it because you guys are all here. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, so I'm going to sew the bottom half of the heart together. Okay, so I'm going to press my seams, and so this is the top part of the heart. And I noticed on my sample that I made for this one, I pressed it open because there's quite a bit going on here. I usually don't like to press things open, but I thought it was better. And then the bottom one, you can either press it to the side or press it open. Just for consistency, I'll press it open. All right, so here are my two halves. I'm going to find where it matches in the seam, and I'm just going to sew these together. Okay, let me sew that. All right, I'm going to press it. And it's so cute. Okay, little heart. All right, so to put it together the way I had it done, which is option 1, let's see. Okay. So that's how I have it designed, but obviously you can twist it around and do anything you want. Yeah, it's your block. So I'm going to sew these together in rows and then sew the rows together. So right now I'm just sewing the rows, the blocks. Yeah, but feel free to change anything you want. Um, I just thought putting a little heart in the center was just something different and not too, hopefully not too complicated. Again, it's all squares. I think this whole block is squares. So you can do a lot with squares. Okay, pressing. I've got this heart in the center, so I'm going to press it out to the sides. And so now I'm going to press towards the middle on this one. So it's interesting on the one that Summer made, it kind of forms a star in the center. So that's a nice block too. Okay, so I'm just gonna sew these together. So just 2 more seams. Let me pin where the seams meet. Okay, for pressing, I have all this going on here and almost nothing going on this side as far as seams, so I'm going to press it towards this side. Okay, let me do the last one. Match up the seams. And press it. All right. Okay, obviously it's your choice what you want to do. And thanks for coming.